The Bikeriders is a period piece movie about a small Chicago motorcycle club that grew a little too big a little bit too quickly and started to cannibalize itself. This movie is really fun because it pays homage to the 60s and 70s motorcycle genre films that we frankly haven't had in quite some time. So seeing it on the big screen was kind of fun. I will say, this movie had me kind of questioning whether I dug it or thought it was slightly mediocre, because you had fantastic performances from people like Jodie Comer, Michael Shannon, Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and Norman Reedus, just to name a few. But it felt a little bit too long, even though it clocked in just shy of 2 hours. Now, my major issue is the fact that it's all told from the perspective of Jodie Comer because she's one of the members of the group's wives. But she wasn't really there for most of the stories that she's telling. And one of the members of the group is the one doing the interviewing, so it should have been from his point of view if they wanted to use this framing device. I think they could have done without this divisive way of framing the movie, but I get they probably wanted to give Jodie Comer more to do than to just be a wife that comes and goes because she's a great actress. But I will say, her voice in this movie is like a heavily thick Chicago accent, and nobody else has that type of voice in this movie. And Tom Hardy's voice is very high-pitched and cartoonish. It felt very out of place. I know that both of these people couldn't use their actual voices because they have accents, but they could have chose something that was a little more suiting and fit the ensemble a little bit better, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot that I dug about this movie. The writing was sharp as hell, the directing was awesome, and the cinematography was stunning. I don't know. I had mixed feelings on it, and that's totally cool. But overall, I enjoyed it because it had greatly fleshed out characters and a tantalizing story. I think you should check out The Bikeriders, coming to theaters this Friday, or currently in theaters, depending when you're watching this. And if you like movie review podcasts, perhaps you could check mine out. It's called Movie Toast. News and reviews, and we're available wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, and please stay toasty.